Commander Vexthor had conquered 12 star systems. His scales bore the scars of 100 battles, and his reputation stretched across the Galactic Council like a dark shadow. The Krellian warrior stood 7 feet tall, with muscles that could crush steel and reflexes faster than most species could process. He feared nothing in this universe. That's what he told himself as he stood on the bridge of his warship, staring at the small blue planet below. Earth. A backwater world that had just achieved faster-than-light travel. Perfect for subjugation. "Captain!" his second officer hissed, mandibles clicking nervously. "The preliminary scans show the humans are unusual." Vexthor laughed, a sound like grinding rocks. "They all say that about their species. Deploy the ground team. We'll have their surrender in 3 planetary rotations." The landing party descended in the remote wilderness of a place called Africa. Vexthor led 40 of his finest warriors, armed with plasma rifles and energy shields. The plan was simple: capture some humans, demonstrate superior firepower, and watch the planet crumble. What they found instead was a small research station and 1 human male sitting outside, drinking something from a metal cup. He wore simple clothes and seemed completely unbothered by the massive alien war party that had just landed 50 meters away. The human stood slowly, stretching his arms. He appeared to be in his middle years, with sun-weathered skin and calm eyes. "G'day," he said in a relaxed tone. "You blokes lost?" Vexthor activated his translator. "Human, you will submit to Krellian authority. Resistance means death." The human took another sip from his cup. "Nah, don't reckon I will. Name's Marcus, by the way. You picked a bad spot to land." "You dare mock me?" Vexthor raised his plasma rifle. "You're one primitive against 40 trained warriors." Marcus shrugged. "Not really one, mate." He put 2 fingers in his mouth and whistled sharply. From the tall grass emerged the most terrifying creature Vexthor had ever seen. It was small, maybe 3 feet long, with black and white fur and a stocky build. But something about the way it moved made every instinct in Vexthor's body scream danger. "What is that thing?" one of his soldiers whispered. "Mellivora capensis," Marcus said cheerfully. "Honey badger. This here's Baxter. Found him as a cub 3 years back. We've been mates ever since." The honey badger looked at the alien warriors with what could only be described as contempt. It made a low, growling sound and began walking directly toward them. "Sir, the biological scanners show it's barely 20 pounds, the scanner operator reported. "No visible weapons or—" He stopped. "Wait. Its aggression readings are— That can't be right. They're higher than a Rigelian war beast." Vexthor sneered. "It's a tiny mammal. Kill it." 3 soldiers fired their plasma rifles. The honey badger dodged the first 2 shots with impossible speed, and the third grazed its hide but didn't slow it down. It accelerated, releasing a horrifying shriek that made the translator crackle and die. Baxter hit the first warrior like a furry missile. The Krellian soldier stood 6.5 feet tall and weighed 300 pounds, but the honey badger climbed him like a tree, going straight for the face. Scales that could deflect small arms fire meant nothing to those claws and teeth. The warrior screamed and fell. "By the void," another soldier stammered. "It's eating through his armor." 2 more warriors tried to pull the creature off their comrade. Baxter spun with liquid grace, biting one on the hand hard enough to crack the exoskeleton underneath, then leaping to the other's face. They both went down, flailing and shrieking. "Kill it!" Vexthor roared. The warriors opened fire. Plasma bolts lit up the savannah, but Baxter moved like water, like smoke, like death itself. He was too fast, too low to the ground, too absolutely uninterested in his own survival to care about tactics or retreat. Every alien he reached went down screaming. Marcus still stood by his research station, watching calmly. "Told you. Bad spot." Vexthor charged toward the human. thinking he'd end this madness by killing the creature's master. He made it 3 steps before something hit him from the side with the force of a small vehicle. Baxter had noticed. The honey badger's jaws clamped onto Vexthor's arm. Pain exploded through his nervous system, pain unlike anything he'd felt in decades of warfare. He tried to shake the creature off, but it held on with the grip of death itself. Then it did something worse. It started climbing. Vexthor was a commander who'd killed enemy champions in single combat. He'd survived assassination attempts, poisonings, and explosive decompression. But as this 20-pound ball of rage and muscle climbed his body, going for his throat, he felt something he'd forgotten existed. Pure, primal terror. He fell backward, desperately trying to pry the creature off. His soldiers tried to help, but half of them were already down, and the other half were too terrified to get close. Baxter's teeth found the softer scales at Vexthor's neck. "Stop! Please!" Vexthor screamed, all pride abandoned. "Mercy!" Marcus whistled again. "Baxter, off!" The honey badger immediately released and trotted back to Marcus, who scratched behind its ears. Baxter made a pleased, chittering sound, as if he'd just finished a light morning exercise rather than terrorizing 40 alien warriors. Vexthor lay on the ground, bleeding from a dozen wounds, his armor shredded. Around him, his soldiers were in similar states. Some were unconscious, others whimpered in pain. Not one had escaped unscathed. Marcus walked over, still holding his cup. "You right there, Commander? Look a bit rough." "What? What is that thing?" Vexthor gasped. "Told you, honey badger. They're known for having a bit of attitude." Marcus crouched down. "See, here's the thing about Earth. We've got creatures that'll kill you in 1,000 different ways. Spiders that can stop your heart. Fish that'll paralyze you with toxins. Snakes that can smell fear. And honey badgers that just don't give a damn about your fancy armor or your big guns." He took another sip. "But you know what the real problem is? It's not Baxter. It's me." Vexthor's eyes widened. "What?" "See, Baxter does what Baxter wants. He's got natural instincts. Millions of years of evolution telling him to be the toughest thing in any fight." Marcus's voice remained casual, almost friendly. "But me? I chose to be here. I chose to study these creatures. I chose to understand them, live with them, earn their trust. You know what that means?" The human's eyes hardened. "It means I'm the thing that looked at one of Earth's most fearless predators and said, 'I want to be friends with that.' Your species conquered 12 systems? Good for you. My species climbed to the top of a planet where everything was trying to kill us, and we did it by being smarter, tougher, and more adaptable than all of it. We tamed wolves into dogs. We made cats into companions. We befriended honey badgers." Marcus stood. "So here's what's going to happen. You're going to take your soldiers back to your ship. You're going to tell your people that Earth is off limits. Because if Baxter scares you, wait until you meet the rest of our planet. We've got bears that can bench press cars, hippos that kill more people than sharks, jellyfish that can stop your heart with a touch, and we live with all of them. And if you think about coming back with more firepower," Marcus's smile was cold. "Remember this. You just got wrecked by one guy and his pet. How do you think you'll do against 8 billion of us who've spent our entire existence surviving in a world designed to kill us?" Vexthor tried to speak, but his translator was broken. He managed a nod instead. As the battered Krellian forces limped back to their ship, the last thing they heard was Marcus calling out cheerfully, "Safe travels, mates, and remember, Baxter doesn't forget faces. Come back, and he'll remember you." 3 months later, the Galactic Council received an official declaration from the Krellian Empire. Earth was to be classified as a protected death world. No military vessels were to approach within 2 light years. The reason given was simple. Native fauna too aggressive. Indigenous population demonstrably insane. Recommend extreme caution and full diplomatic protocols before any contact. Marcus never heard about the declaration. He was too busy teaching Baxter a new trick, how to ride on his shoulders during their morning walks. They made quite a pair, a human who'd looked at the most fearless creature on Earth and decided it needed a friend, and a honey badger who'd accepted that friendship while losing none of his legendary attitude. Together, they patrolled the savannah, guardians of a planet that needed no other defense. After all, any species capable of befriending a honey badger was clearly capable of anything.